After standing face-to-face with four of the greatest legends in modern boxing history, Floyd Mayweather, Gennady Golovkin, Miguel Cotto, and Dmitri Bivol, Saul Canelo Alvarez cemented his status as one of the greatest fighters of his era, etching his name as a symbol of power and technical discipline in the world boxing arena. Canelo wasn't just a talented boxer, he was the embodiment of continuous evolution. A Mexican youth who began his journey humbly, he quickly carved his path to the top thanks to his iron will, exceptional precision, and unique ability to adapt to different opponents' styles. With a style that blends intelligent defense, powerful offense, and devastating body shots, he became a formidable opponent for any boxer, no matter their level. From his tough experience against the legend Mayweather, to his three historic battles against Gennady Golovkin, his explosive showdown with Miguel Cotto, and his bold challenge against the light heavyweight champion Dmitri Bivol, every one of these fights marked a pivotal point in Canelo's career, reflecting his growth as a fighter and his transformation into a true icon in the world of boxing. And as time went by, and interviews and media appearances accumulated, one question kept surfacing strongly. Who was the toughest opponent Canelo Alvarez ever faced in his career? A question that carries within it grueling fights, blazing rounds, and merciless opponents, all of whom played a part in the saga of a champion who never knew surrender. In this video, we'll take you on an exciting analytical journey through the most iconic of these encounters, exploring how Canelo faced each opponent and what made each fight unique, until we reach Canelo's own bold statement. Who was the fighter that pushed him to give everything he had inside the ring? So I hope you appreciate my effort and support me by subscribing to the channel. His fight against Floyd Mayweather. On the night of May 5th, 2013, boxing fans gathered at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas to witness a long-awaited showdown between two of the greatest names in boxing. When the rising young Mexican, Saul Canelo Alvarez, challenged the defensive and technical boxing legend Floyd "Money" Mayweather Jr. At the start of the first round, Canelo tried to impose his usual style, relying on intense pressure and attack, attempting to use powerful punches and body shots to break Mayweather's defense. But Floyd, with his vast experience, moved with incredible agility around the ring, disappearing from the range of punches and responding with swift and precise counters, exploiting every potential weakness in Canelo's defense. Mayweather did not just defend, but also hit smartly, delivering fast and focused punches, especially from his strong right hand that penetrated Canelo's defense several times, leaving marks on his face and body. Canelo tried to adapt to Mayweather's speed, but struggled to find openings or create space for a more effective attack. As the rounds progressed, signs of fatigue appeared on Canelo, especially as Mayweather increasingly controlled the pace of the fight. Floyd's precise movements and well-planned strategies made it difficult for Canelo to find opportunities to counterattack or advance, often forcing him to retreat or change his plan. Despite this, Canelo showed unwavering determination, fiercely trying to catch up on points, relying on some powerful punches, especially in the later rounds. But it was not enough to compensate for Mayweather's tactical superiority. In the end, after 12 thrilling rounds, the judges unanimously decided to award the victory to Floyd Mayweather. His fight against Miguel Cotto on November 21st, 2015. Boxing fans gathered at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas to witness a decisive confrontation between the rising Mexican star Saul Canelo Alvarez and the Puerto Rican-born legend Miguel Cotto, former world champion in multiple weight classes, known for his strength and vast experience. The fight began at a moderate pace, with the two boxers cautiously exchanging punches, Canelo relying on his speed and variety of punches, targeting the head and body in an attempt to unsettle Cotto's solid defense. Meanwhile, Cotto used his experience to close the distance and attack from unexpected angles, showing great physical toughness. As the rounds passed, Canelo began imposing his rhythm through smart movements and skillful use of his hands, especially quick punches focused on the body that started affecting Cotto's ability to respond with the same strength. In contrast, Cotto did not back down, but continued trying to exploit counterattack opportunities, though he sometimes appeared tired against Canelo's persistence. In the 8th round, fatigue began to show on Cotto, and Canelo's superiority became clear through a series of decisive punches that disrupted his opponent and demonstrated his physical and tactical superiority. Canelo left no room for a comeback, exploiting every weakness that appeared appeared in Cotto's defense. As the end approached, Canelo continued the pressure, using a mix of power and speed until the judges unanimously declared Canelo the winner, a victory that reinforced his status as a new legend in boxing. His fight against Golovkin, the famous war between Canelo and Triple G, began. On September 16, 2017, Saul Canelo Alvarez met the powerful conqueror Gennady Golovkin at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas in a long-awaited clash between two of the most prominent middleweight fighters. Canelo entered the fight aiming to prove he could keep pace with Golovkin's immense power and tactical precision. From the first round, it was clear that Golovkin relied on continuous pressure and heavy punches, while Canelo tried to move and depend on speed and technical skills. Despite Canelo's attempts to evade and counterattack, Golovkin imposed his rhythm in most rounds through persistent pressure and delivering heavy punches that seemed to affect Canelo's defense. As the rounds advanced, fatigue appeared on Canelo, especially due to Golovkin's unrelenting power. At the end of the 12th round, the judges declared a draw, adding more controversy to the fight. After the thrilling draw in their first fight in 2017, Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin returned for a second confrontation on September 15, 2018, at the same arena in Las Vegas, amid huge global anticipation. This time, there was no room for doubt or a draw, as Canelo entered the fight with high morale and greater confidence, having learned much from their previous meeting. From the start, Canelo imposed his rhythm differently, controlling the distance and using his technical movements and speed to avoid Golovkin's heavy punches. Despite Golovkin's strenuous attempts to pressure and break Canelo's defense, the latter managed to dodge most of the decisive punches and respond effectively, neutralizing Golovkin's threat to a large extent. As the rounds progressed, Canelo's dominance became clear, exploiting Golovkin's weaknesses, even delivering strong punches that caused visible cuts and effects on his rival. At the end of the 12th round, the judges announced Canelo as the winner by unanimous decision, ending the controversy of their first fight and proving his status as a formidable middleweight champion. After the decisive victory over Golovkin in 2018, the fierce rivalry continued, reaching a much-anticipated third fight held on September 17, 2022. From the first moments, the fight was more intense and powerful, with both sides exchanging heavy punches amid high-level tactical performance. As the rounds went on, Canelo seemed to exploit every chance to impose his diverse style, alternating between defensive and fast attacks, benefiting from his improved flexibility and movement. Conversely, Golovkin tried to use his strength and steadiness to make a difference, but Canelo's composure and defensive skills prevented that. The fight ended with Canelo winning by majority decision, reinforcing his position as an unbeatable champion and closing the debate over superiority between the two. His fight against Bivol on November 19, 2022, the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas witnessed a highly anticipated showdown between Mexican star and Russian champion Dmitri Bivol, the WBA light heavyweight title holder. The fight started very cautiously from both sides. Canelo tried to use his experience and speed targeting the body and head, relying on smart movements to unsettle Bivol and prevent him from imposing his rhythm. However, Bivol, with his disciplined style, read Canelo's movements accurately and chose the right time to attack. As the rounds passed, Bivol gradually took control of the ring, with his punches being precise and focused, targeting vital points in Canelo's defense. He used straight punches and body shots to weaken his opponent and succeeded in creating tactical gaps that bothered Canelo a lot. Canelo, for his part, showed high resistance and remarkable endurance, trying to attack back from time to time, but faced obvious difficulty breaking through Bivol's solid defense. Bivol's continuous pressure and fast pace made it hard for Canelo to find an opportunity to advance or turn the fight around. Approaching the end of the rounds, it became clear that Bivol held the upper hand most of the time, showing tactical and physical control over the fight's course, prompting the judges to announce Dmitri Bivol as the unanimous winner. After all these fierce confrontations that saw Canelo Alvarez fought against a selection of the greatest boxers of his era, the central question that occupies boxing fans and analysts remains: who is the toughest and fiercest opponent Canelo has faced in his career? Canelo, the man who stood face to face with different styles and powers, always showed deep respect for all his rivals, but he never hesitated to describe who was the most dangerous and hardest to face in the ring. In one of his most candid and deep interviews, Canelo clearly announced, "Gennady Golovkin is the toughest boxer I have faced." As well as Cotto, who tested his experience, Canelo considered Golovkin the opponent who pushed him to the absolute limits of his physical and mental strength. With this statement, Canelo highlights that the toughest toughest test in his career was not only about power or speed, but the combination of both in one fighter, a man who embodied the true meaning of toughness in the ring and created one of the greatest rivalries in modern boxing history.